What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. I want to show this video because I find this to be the trend, to be the new culture of America, where many of you all are being forced into having a mindset, into believing this whole idea of what gender is and pronoun usage, and which many people are struggling to figure out where do they stand. Check this video out and I'll be back.
What do you say a woman is?
I believe that everyone can identify for themselves.
Okay. Do you believe then that men can become pregnant and have abortions?
Yes.
Exactly what gender is. Gender is exactly about an experience and a performance and a social construct.
It's not a social construct. Stop saying a social construct. To say that words don't have meaning and they're socially constructed means nothing. And I'll tell you why.
They are.
But you say that, but then
This wasn't always a book.
Okay,
this
so
could
then
be called mug.
So
It
then
just happens
you
not
know
to
what
be.
it is? Our entire discussion about Black America meant nothing. There's no such thing as racial injustice. See what I did there? Because Black is a social construct.
Yeah, but we live in a social reality. So within that social reality,
It can't be both, Mark. So you either
Sure it
think
can
that
be.
the gender wage gap is BS, that feminism is wrong, and that racial disparities are all BS because everything's a social construct. You're either going to go full postmodernist and say nothing is real and it's all made up, or you're going to acknowledge that there are some hard, concrete truths. It means you are born with a vagina. You can have children. You have a uterus. When you are a male, you are born with a penis. You can get a woman pregnant. These words have real meanings. We cannot suddenly get into society where there are no truths.
So to acknowledge a social construct does not mean that we ignore biology, and it doesn't mean that we don't have.
Can men get pregnant?
Depends. I know.
What does it depend on?
I know trans men that can get pregnant.
That means it's a woman. Only one sex can
Well,
get
that's a
pregnant.
circular argument. That's making
Can men give birth?
sometimes. That's my answer. Yes.
And the answer that is crazy. And this is we cannot. It's just crazy. We cannot allow this to happen.
But you wouldn't say the definition
There
of being a
are
woman is the
truths.
ability to give birth.
And I'm not saying it's, but only women can give birth is a factually true statement. Okay? Can men get their period? Can you help my audience? Can men get their period?
Some can.
Okay.
Yeah, trans men. There's some trans men who can. And again, I think it's okay to ask interesting questions. I think it's okay to have intellectual debates. But I don't think that we ever want to enter a space where we deny the humanity. And I'm not saying you are, but to deny the humanity or the experiences of other people.
Like I said.
I noticed in your written testimony, you said that you use she, her pronouns. You're a medical doctor. What's a woman?
It's important for you to understand why I said I use she, her pronouns.
Well,
Because I understand that
I'm
there are
explaining.
people-
I was explaining why I'm asking the question, but I'd just like to get an answer to the question. What's a woman?
I think it's important that we educate people like you about why we're doing the things that we do. And so the reason that I use she and her pronouns is because I understand that there are people who become pregnant that may not identify that way. And I think it is discriminatory to speak to people or to call them in such a way as they desire not to be called.
Thanks for that
So
explanation.
it's
Can you
important
answer-
that we respect each individual person.
Are you going to answer my question? Can you answer the question, what's a woman?
I'm a woman. And I will ask you, which pronouns do you use?
Can you
If you
provide...
tell me that you use she and her pronouns, I'm going to answer you. I'm going to call you Mr. Bishop. I'm going to respect you for how you want me to address you.
I'm just saying, so you give me an example of a woman, you say that you are a woman. Can you tell me,
think that is
otherwise,
a-
can you tell me what a woman is?
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm a woman.
Is that as comprehensive a definition as you can give me?
That's as comprehensive as the definitions as I will give you today.
I see.
Because I think that it's important that we focus on what we're here for, and it's to talk about access to
I see.
abortion
So you're not
care
interested
and
in
how
answering the
important
question
this
I
right
asked.
is.
What do you think? Let me say this right here, family. This is a very good example of how we as a people who live in other cultures, mindset can be twisted, can take on ideologies, belief systems, and sound as ridiculous as this brother, this sister, as well as this European woman. That you can go ahead and put into your mindset that a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man, and a man can have a baby or can have a menstrual. How many other things that you should be challenging yourself? asking yourself, what else do I believe that I've taken on, that I've subscribed to, that I've liked in my belief system that might be skewed? That you might even be defending something that is tilted, something that is off cuff, something that really is not truth. We got to be very careful because it's a dangerous world that where before you were introduced to these new phrases, fads, ideologies, now your perception is seeing things different, and you are regurgitating the definitions, the way that they speak, the way that we sit here and try to debate and argue over things that they've made up that has no sense to it. Can you believe it? I would have never thought in my 55 years that I would hear any black person say a man can have a baby, or be able to allow somebody to tell you they want to be called something against the intellect of what you have to know what is truth. This is where we are today. This is how the small few can go around the world and control. I do not understand, how does the masses allow the small percentage control everything? Taking on mindsets and how people can come and have you subscribe to what they believe in. That if a person wants to be called a man and it's really a woman, then you will refer to them as such, which then eventually psychologically is embedded in your mentality to where you become confused. But worse than that, the youth. Because where then does the line stop? When do you cross that line of what is fact and what is not? This is the problem today of America's freedom to say, do, believe whatever you want. And yet you want to bend the arms of those who oppose you so that you can be called what you want. That brother, for instance, he wants to agree that he or we should at least respect one, like the sister also speaking to the congressman, should respect people in what they're wanting to be requested. So in other words, then, that if I'm 55 years old and I decide that I am really 12 years old, that I should have a right to like another 12-year-old and be with a 12-year-old. Matter of fact, if it was his daughter, I wonder would he think the same? I wonder if it was his son and that a trans who claims that they want to be a girl, and his son comes home and says, but daddy, it's a girl. She says she's a girl, wants to be a girl. What's wrong with that? I wonder what he would say if it was his child. You see, when the shoe's on the other foot and it starts to invade your space, not saying what other people want you to believe that they are, but when it invades your space, then you have a problem now of really calling it like it is. Because I can sit here and say, I'm a white lesbian woman. And your intellect is going to wrestle with and say, no, you are a black male who's straight. With that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Be careful on the things you subscribe to, the people you hang around with, the cultures that you embrace, because you might wake up one day and turn around and call yourself something that you really aren't. Go black to Africa.
Think about it, think about it. Think about it.